Good morning, sixth graders. Today we will be reviewing the conditions for settlement. Before we begin, go ahead and complete the do now on your page. Fill in the blanks with the words in the box below. Once you've completed this, your passage should say, imagine going back in time to Africa during prehistory, which is before people had invented a system of writing. This is before the Stone Age, when the early humans had just learned to use fire for light, to cook food, keep warm, and to scare predators. Imagine that you would be imagine what you would be thinking about sitting around the fire and thinking. Next, fast forward to the Paleolithic age, when early humans began using language and stone tools. What do you think it would be like to be a hunter-gatherer and have to search for your food every night? Finally, keep moving forward in time. You have migrated out of Africa into a new part of the world. You live in a community and begin to plant seeds, something that people today call agriculture. Your life is safe and peaceful. It only took 3 million years. Winky face. All right, so the big idea we're reviewing today is that you must have certain conditions for a permanent settlement. The main ones are living next to fresh water, living in a climate where it is mild, also known as temperate, and living somewhere where the land is fertile, so crops can grow. The next part is going to be a vocabulary attack. Write the definition and draw a picture for each definition. The first definition you're going to write is agricultural revolution. Remember, this is the change from hunting and gathering to farming. Pause the video now to write this. The next definition you're going to write is domestication. That means to train wild animals to become useful to humans. Pause the video now to write this. The next definition you are writing is cultivation, the planting and harvesting of crops. Pause the video now to write this. And lastly, specialization, being really good at another job outside of farming. Pause the video now to write this. The reason we wrote these definitions is because specialization, domestication, cultivation, and the agricultural revolution are all a result of humans finding the perfect permanent settlements. So your next note is right here. Go ahead and write it underneath the picture that you see on the screen and on your page. Hunter-gatherer's life was difficult, so migration occurred. Migration is when humans moved. People were constantly searching for food and they were nomads. Pause the video to write this. Well, eventually people began to farm. It was safer and more reliable because people could settle down. Pause the video now to write this underneath this picture. All right, anything that you see that is red and underlined, you're going to write. You must have certain conditions of farm. Farmers must settle near a river or another body of fresh water. This allowed for the soil to have nutrients and a fresh water supply. Crops can only grow if there is fresh if there is a fresh water supply nearby. Temperature. Farmers can only plant crops when the temperature was warm, but not too hot and not too cold. If it was too cold, food would not grow. If it was too hot, food would not grow. Needs to be a mild climate. Lastly, the land. Land has to be fertile for farming to occur. Go on to the next part of your packet. This is called Environments Matter. We're going to read this passage and answer the questions that follow it. Humans and their surroundings affect each other. People modify or change their environment in many ways. Humans in history often chose to settle near bodies of fresh water, such as rivers. Benefits of settlement near rivers include drinking water, fertile soil and water for crops, and travel, transportation, and trade opportunities for people because they could use the river to do this. Every successful human settlement must have fresh water, fertile soil, and a mild climate. Human settlements also needed protection from enemies. Oceans, deserts, and mountains acted as natural barriers for people. At this point, you're going to answer the 3 questions below the passage. After you have completed this, go on to your exit ticket and go ahead and take your exit ticket. After that, go back to the Social Studies website and follow any early finisher work. Thank you and have a good day.